Of all the people in the world who say they would like to write a book, how many of those people actually start? And of those, how many of them actually finish? Would you be surprised to find out that it's actually about 3%? Hi, my name is Andrew J. Brandt. I'm an author of multiple books, including the #1 bestsellers Palo Duro and Picture Unavailable, and my goal is to teach you everything I've learned through the process of writing a novel. Of a recent survey of more than 2,000 people, it's found that more than half of Americans think they have a great idea for a novel. So why do so many people fail at this, and how can you become one of the 3% who actually succeed? Now, I can't guarantee that you will be one of the 3% who actually finish a novel, but what I can do is give you 3 easy steps to follow to give you the best foot forward for an aspiring author. Today's video is brought to you by Vellum. Vellum is a formatting and writing software that helps you create beautiful books. From editing and writing to formatting, for both ebook and print, you can customize your layouts with ease. Vellum is the software I use for formatting my books, and it's so easy to use. Don't spend money paying someone else to format and lay out your books when you can do it yourself with Vellum. Check it out at the link in the description below. Now, back to our video. With 8 books under my belt and multiple #1 bestsellers and multiple awards, these are the 3 things that I focus on to help me succeed in novel writing. Instead of starting your book with an idea, focus on having a plan. Planning your book does take some time and helps you unfurl all of the points of your idea to turn it into an actual story. An idea, as you see, is only a seed, but by cultivating that idea, by forming it into a plan, by following, let's say, the Save the Cat method from Blake Snyder and Jessica Brody, you can turn that idea into a full-fledged story. That's where so many writers, I think, go wrong. They sit down because they were inspired by an idea, but they don't have an actual plan to follow through to turn that idea into a story. And I'm speaking from experience. I know that I have at least a half dozen stop-start stories on my laptop from whenever I sat down because I was inspired by writing an idea, but I didn't take the time to cultivate that idea into a story. By implementing things like those beat sheets, I'm able to take a step back from my idea and see where a story would go and how those scenes would play out. An idea is only a starting point, but a plan will help you succeed in completing your novel. An idea is only a starting point, but a plan will help you succeed as an author. Point 2, create time and space to write. I have often said that if you only write when you feel inspired, you will never finish. Because it's impossible to stay inspired for 70, 80, 90,000 words. Writing a novel is a long process, and it takes time, and it takes dedication. So you have to create time, and you have to create space to sit down to write. For me personally, I block off 2 hours every single morning. I write 1,000 words a day, 5 days a week. I take off the weekends. That gives me 16 weeks to write an 80,000 word first draft. And don't get me wrong, sometimes it is a slog. Sometimes it's cold and I don't want to write. I want to stay in bed and put on my hoodie and watch YouTube videos. But that's where that dedication comes in. That's where having a plan will help you continue your story. Even if you feel burned out, you have a roadmap of where your story will go. Also, having a dedicated writing space will help your mind understand that whenever you sit down to write, it's time to get some work done. You need a space, whether it's a corner at home or in an office or even at a coffee shop, somewhere just to be able to have a space and have a place where your mind tells you, okay, it's time to get some work done. When you're 30 or 40,000 words into a novel and you feel like there's more than halfway to go, it can feel daunting. But by creating time and space for your art and your work, you will give yourself the tools necessary to push through, even when you don't feel inspired. By creating time and space for your art, you will have a place. By creating time and space for your art, you will give yourself the tools necessary to continue writing your novel, even when you don't feel inspired. And the final point I'd like to make today is this: don't fall into the editing trap. Don't try to edit your novel as you're writing, especially a first draft. It's very easy to fall into the pitfalls of trying to edit what you're writing as you're drafting your novel. Your first draft is just that. It's a draft. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to exist. After you've written it, then you can go back and edit, Find the things that work and don't work, change what needs to be changed. I know that when I was working on my first novel, The Treehouse, I fell into that trap. I was trying to edit the things I had written as I was trying to draft the novel. It caused a ton of headaches. It made me want to quit writing altogether. I would spend so much time trying to fix the things I had written while trying to write that first draft. By falling into that trap, you make it easy to become discouraged because you're not happy with what you've written while writing it. It's like having all the ingredients for a cake and then tasting the flour and not being happy with the way it tastes. Your first draft is the ingredients for your cake. Editing is the mixing and the baking part. So as an author, your job as you're writing a novel is just to write. Let the editing happen after you finish your book. With these tools, I am confident you will become one of the 3% of those who sit down to actually finish their novel. If you found this video helpful, I hope you'll push that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tune in as I produce new videos every week on novel writing and the art and craft of storytelling. I'm Andrew J. Brandt. I'll see you next time.